The world's richest man, Elon Musk, is one of the most talked about people on the planet for obvious reasons. But for all the attention and fame, there's still an element of mystery that surrounds him. His father, Errol, has largely kept to himself too. A successful engineer in South Africa, the 76-year-old is a colourful character, to say the least. It's also fair to say the two have somewhat of a strained relationship. Elon has been fairly scathing in the past, but what does his dad say? Let's find out. Errol, you are the father of the richest man in the world. Does that sit comfortably with you?
Well, yes. I think I said 20 years ago, at least 20 years ago, I said Elon won't stop until he's number one financially in the world. I said that years ago. So, I fully expected this. It's not like I didn't expect it,
Was there a moment that you remember during his childhood where you went, yep, there's something special about this kid, there's something different?
Well, yes, he was obviously very bright as a child. And, he would, he had plenty of ideas. He knew all about what computers were capable of when he was about 11. He'd always been on top of things. And he's traveled with me extensively all around the world. I learned with traveling with my children that they were very capable at the ages of 11, 12, 13. They are pretty smart kids,
What drives him? You mentioned that you knew he wouldn't stop till he was number one. What's that motivation?
At the moment, Elon is not satisfied. I mean, think that Elon is satisfied with the present situation is silly. He's not satisfied. As far as he's concerned, he should have been where he is now 5 years ago.
I want to ask you, something that you've said about Elon before really sparked my interest off the back of the Twitter deal at the moment and what's going on with that. And you said something like, as a boy, if he suddenly decides it's not interesting anymore, he kind of drops it. Is that what you think's happened now with Twitter? Has he lost interest?
No, I think Twitter had a lot of fake accounts, and I think they have a lot of that. So I think that's very worrying to him, and it's not genuine, and it's not very kosher. There's something wrong there.
You speak about Elon like you are a really proud father. What is your relationship like with him now?
My relationship with him now is exactly the same as my relationship when I was his age with my father. Exactly the same. If I called my father up at when I was, Elon's age and said, "Hello, Dad, how are you?" And what's happening with you? He'd say to me, "What, are you not feeling well or something?" So it's exactly the same.
Yeah. Do you miss talking to him?
Look, Elon's in the air 90% of the time. Even longer more than that. Even his direct subordinate, his direct connection, cannot just talk to him. He's all in different places all the time. He hasn't got time for small talk.
Do you see your son ever entering politics?
Well, yes. It's interesting that you raised that question. I never really worried about Elon Kimball in their efforts in the United States. I mean, they've done extraordinarily well. And when I saw him getting into politics January this year, I realized, wait a minute, I better just start talking to him again, because up until then there was nothing for me to worry about. But when he started getting into politics, I started warning him, saying, Elon, you're getting into the political realm now. Do you realize what you're doing? This is back in January. And this was long before Twitter. And he started to sort of wake up to the fact that politics is about 50% of everything. Politics is dangerous business.
Elon clearly has done incredibly well for himself, but there is no doubt in my mind that he would have had naughty moments as a child. Was he a bit cheeky and naughty at times?
He always had a good excuse. One day we were traveling between Ireland and France, I think it was, and Elon and Kimball came to me. They were very young. They were very, very young, about 6 and 7. And they came to me on the cruise ship and said to me, "Look what we got." And I looked in their hands, and they had quite a lot of money, notes, pound notes. And I said, "Where'd you get that?" And they said, "We played cards with those old people outside there." And I said, "What? And you know, and you won this money?" I said, No, you take that money right back and give it back to those old people." "Oh, no, we won it fair." I said, No, you take it back and you give it back to them.
Oh, I love that. That's brilliant. Now, your days of parenting young children are certainly not over. You had a baby 2 or 3 years ago with your former stepdaughter. Explain that situation to me.
I was married to her mother for a couple of years in the early 90s, and then we were divorced. Jana went into foster care after we were divorced, and I never really saw much of Jana. I never saw Jana for years, and then in about 2014, which is about 12 years later, she contacted me to say that she's desperate. You know, the next day I rushed to go and find her. I started helping her. We started to become really close, and I like her very much. And she had, and so a little boy. So I'm very happy with that. I haven't confirmed this. The child of 3 years ago, the little girl, is very much like my other children, my other daughters. But I love them all, very much, all three of them.
Errol, finally, what do you think your son's legacy will be?
Well, I mean, the legacy that he is aiming for is to have people on Mars. I think that's something that he's very frustrated about. He would like 5 years ahead of where he is now. They'll probably back and say, well, it was this guy that started it.
Errol Musk, thank you so very much for your time.